Neno hili si hivyo.
Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our channel once again. Where is Farouk Kibet? Is Farouk Kibet still working at State House? Or was Farouk Kibet fired? Those are the questions which majority of Kenyans are currently asking. Because Farouk Kibet is missing in action.
Unajua watu wanasikiaga Farouk. Wanafikiria ni mtu utaenda upate ako na ofisi from moja pale kwa rais wetu.
Huyu Farouk ni mtu tofauti. Hata hao watu wa kuandika magazeti hawajui waandike anaitwa nani. Ni mtu ako na responsibility. I works hard, lakini you cannot go somewhere na useme hii ndio ofisi ya Farouk. Ofisi ya Farouk ni penye Farouk ako.
Murkomen alikosea kusema ati ofisi ya Farouk ni kwenye Farouk ako. Mimi naona ofisi ya Farouk hata ni ile ya rais wetu wa Kenya. Kwa sababu huwezi fikia rais Farouk akisema no. Hata huyu deputy rais na rafiki yangu kufikia yeye Farouk lazima aseme yes.
Lakini huyu Farouk sio mtu wa kiburi, ni mtu wa kunyorosha kazi. Tulikuwa tunaenda mkutano ya campaign, ukiona iko disorder kidogo unaanza kuulizana wapi Farouk, wapi Farouk.
Huyu Kibet Farouk ananikumbusha Martin Luther King Jr. Mwenye alisema ukipewa kuwa sweeper, sweep mpaka mbinguni imbe iseme there lived a great sweeper.
Ni kiongozi wetu wa maana sana. Na niseme ukweli, kwa ushindi wa William Ruto na sisi alichangia kiasi kikubwa sana. Kwa sababu tulisema hatupangwingwi, lakini tulipatia Farouk Kibet nafasi atupange.
Kazi yenye alipewa, alianzia tu kupanga sisi ndio tuongee mzuri kwa mkutano na kukaa vizuri kwa ofisi. Anapanga mpaka kila mtu, hata naibu wa rais wakati alikuwa anaanza ofisi yake juzi anasema na mnitafutie Farouk yangu mwenye atakuwa hapa.
Hata nilikuwa nimemwambia Rais Ruto aniwachie yeye apange mambo yangu, akaniruka. Akasema anahitaji yeye nitafute yangu na mimi natafuta. Lakini nimemwambia Farouk nikitafuta yangu atanifanyia training 6 months ashike laini ndio aweze kuendelea mbele.
Na juu nimesikia sasa mnaetaka hapa kwa boma yake ati anatoa sukari gunia moja. Saa ingine anapea watu. Sipa hiyo wakati alikuwa mtu ya mkono ya deputy president. Sasa Farouk si ni mtu ya mkono ya rais. Akiwa deputy president, mtu ya mkono ya deputy president. Si alikuwa anatoa gunia moja ya sukari. Sasa akiwa mtu ya mkono ya rais, si atoe gunia moja ya sukari na gunia moja ya mahidi. Na ongeze moja ya uga ya ngano.
Hata maziwa mchukue. Na ikiwezekana akiwa na ng'ombe pia mkisikia kuna dama amepatikana anapanga. Hiyo ndio bottom up. Dama inachukuliwa, anashika kijana ya area hii anampea dama moja analea, si ndio?
Wewe Farouk, Mungu akubariki sana. Na abariki watoto yako na familia yako.
Tunakutakia mema, na kwa niaba ya watu wetu wote, watu wa hapa, kwa hii mtoto wenu tunasema asante.
Farouk Kibet was a constant figure around President William Ruto. We no longer see Farouk Kibet. Previously, Farouk Kibet would be the one controlling the speakers, would be the one controlling the time, and generally Farouk Kibet was William Ruto. Where is Farouk Kibet?
Ukiona hii maneno mengi naongea ni kwa vile nimeona news ya watu wengi hapa wako na kitu baada ya hii Ramadhan watakuja kuniambia. Mimi najua kuna kitu mmefikiria sahihi. Si nyinyi mko na kitu mmeona kwangu? Si kuna kitu mmeona kwangu? Sasa ni nyinyi ndio mtakuja kuniambia mmeona nini kizuri kwangu. Sio kitu kizuri tuwache hii Ramadhani ipite, si nyinyi mtakuja kuniambia kama ninaweza kukaa kwa kiti ama mtanipatia kiti kingine.
Ladies and gentlemen, a few days ago, this letter here emerged online. This letter emerged online. I want to go through that letter. Of course, I know and you also know that this letter, is fake. But the letter was intended to send a message. Nobody can just sit down to write such kind of a letter. So I want us to discuss Farouk Kibet and his position in State House. Ladies and gentlemen, this letter says, statement from His Excellency William Ruto, CGH President of the Republic of Kenya, ref expulsion of Mr. Farouk Kibet from Kenya State House. From that headline alone, you know this letter is actually fake. It proceeds here. For many years, Mr. Farouk Kibet has worked with me in my political journey from my time as a member of parliament, through my service as a deputy president, and now as president of the Republic of Kenya. I have valued loyalty, dedication, and hard work in all those who serve alongside me. Now you can tell where this letter is headed to. It's trying to give us the history of Farouk Kibet and William Samoei Arap Ruto. However, leadership at the level of the presidency demands discipline, decorum, and utmost respect for institution and leaders across political divide. State House is not a marketplace for insults, intimidations, and personal vendetta. It is a symbol of national unity, dignity, and respect. Again, if you read that, that's not a professional letter. Okay? But it's delivering some message there. As much as it's not a professional letter, it's delivering some messages there. Now listen, it has come to my attention that conduct attributed to Mr. Farouk Kibet has fallen short of the standards expected of anyone associated with my office. Actions that vilify leaders, create unnecessary confrontation, and bring the office of the president into disrepute cannot and will not be tolerated. And it says, effective immediately, Mr. Farouk Kibet will no longer serve in any capacity within the presidency or operate from State House. Ladies and gentlemen, that it is fake. That it is fake. But why are we not seeing Farouk Kibet around the president? That's exactly what I want to talk about here.
Brought in, some sort of controversial remarks as to how he fits into this structure of government. Who is Farouk Kibet?
It's a very interesting phenomenon worldwide. William Ruto and his brigade campaigned of state capture. That there were individuals who are not government officers or public officers who are exercising state power. We have now Farouk Kibet, who the deputy of this country, the deputy president of this country, who voters voted with 7 million votes, admitting that for him to access his boss, he must pass through Farouk, who holds no public office. This is a new dimension that is likely to cause a lot of problems within the William Ruto campaign. You've seen Duale, Ndindi Nyoro, everybody seems to be saying, boss, you are the boss. Allow us to see the president. Are we likely to see this person becoming a Matere Keriri who blocked everybody from entering State House? Are we likely to see Farouk becoming the wall behind the president, so that the president is not accessible to very many Kenyans? But Farouk Kibet, you've seen his record. The media has failed to tell us how he went after primary school to study privately. That is a question mark. Number two, he has been a personal assistant to President William Ruto from 1990s. He has been involved in the YK 92. So he knows the president in and out. The president is very comfortable with him because this is the only constant from when William Ruto was a young politician. All the others have been coming either through ODM, they leave. Others come through URP, they leave. Others have come through UDA, they leave. Others have now come through Kenya Kwanza, they will leave. But this person is a constant. And everybody worldwide has somebody who is a constant. That person wields a lot of power. The question is, will he be the conduit for corruption? Because all those people who have occupied such positions, like Biwot, like the others, have been the conduit for that.
Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something I keep on repeating, and I will never tire from repeating, that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And that everything in politics is well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. This letter here did not originate from State House, but you cannot rule out the fact that it originated from individuals within State House, and it was intended to achieve certain political objectives. So my take about this letter are as follows. Number one, this letter could be the work of NIS, the National Intelligence Service. You know, Kenya has one of the best intelligence system in Africa. Maybe there's something, but NIS wants to gauge the reaction of Kenyans, the reaction of people around the president, the reaction of the political players. If Kibet is kept away from the president or is told to keep off a bit, then the plan is to remove him. Then NIS has to test. How are Kenyans going to react? I'm 100% sure you already have the feedback from how Kenyans reacted to this news. Personally, I received this letter from so many people on this channel who asked me, Lee, can you confirm whether it's true? Lee, can we talk about this? I just read the first paragraph and I realized it was a fake letter. But the reaction of Kenyans, I can assure you, it's already engaged. Number two, maybe the person who authored this letter has also observed, just like the rest of the country, that Farouk Kibet is no longer actively involved around the president. Of course, we saw Farouk Kibet in Malava by election, and we also saw him recently in Kabras. And Kenyans were joking that Farouk Kibet is now the real kingpin because he's directing them how to vote. So maybe there are those talks. So this guy realized that, okay, maybe this guy is no longer working at State House. Or maybe this the plan to remove the president. So what has he done? Or maybe there's the plan to remove Farouk Kibet. So what is he doing? Preemptive. He's preempting that, you know, this guy is going to be removed. So by releasing this kind of letter, because we all know that Farouk Kibet really is a personal assistant to the president. Within State House, I don't think if he has, at one point, I remember at one point, the leaders were saying, like, you can't see the president without seeing Farouk Kibet. If he says, go in, you go. Go out, you go. And I also think that this could actually And number three, I also think that this could actually be some factional politics at State House. Some people are fighting Farouk Kibet at State House, and they are pushing for his removal from office. That's common. So they are going to this length of even publishing a fake letter and circulating. And lastly, this could be propaganda. But I don't understand, because it could be propaganda, right? But I don't understand why someone would target Farouk Kibet with propaganda. I mean, if you've been studying Farouk Kibet, I mean, what mistake has he done to be targeted by propaganda or with propaganda? Because apart from being close to the president, doing ABC with the President William Ruto, if you had to ask me, Farouk Kibet, politically speaking, is not that individual who steps on people's toes as much as very close with President Ruto. Even when he was the deputy president, when Ruto was the deputy president, he was still with him. But you've never had stories that, you know, so-and-so went to meet Ruto, Farouk Kibet amefanya hivi. Those stories were so many around Raila Odinga and even Uhuru Kenyatta. But you'll never hear anything about Farouk Kibet. So why would he be targeted? The thing is, there are people who feels that maybe because of his nature, he doesn't deserve to be around President William Samoei Arap Ruto. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Let me also hear your take on this particular letter. Until next time, this is Lee McQueen. Bye-bye.